People on your face when you're riding high are very kind, very nice and this thing. But the moment you fall down, they just come and suck your blood off. You realize who are your good friends and who are you're not a good friend. So it's an eye-opener. म तपाईहरूलाई धेरै धेरै माया गर्छु. Hi, this is Manisha Koirala and you're watching me in Forbes India.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, dear.
So as we were talking about this, we are seeing a lot of movies re-releasing, Karan Arjun, Kal Ho Na Ho. But your movies have that timeless appeal and we keep going back and, watching it. But are you expecting any of your movies to re-release in theaters?
So what happens is I would love to see the reaction of how Gen Z likes my films if it's released in the same old format. Because I think some of the movies that I have done, whether it's Mani Ratnam's films or Sanjay Leela Bhansali's films, so I think they're quite timeless, and they're classic.
Even Company for that matter. So many films, different genre, different styles, and yeah.
One such movie is Dil Se, which I recently I watched and I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's so
this
beautiful.
Can be watched anytime.
Yeah.
So what has been that one unexpected learning from your journey so far of 3 decades?
For me, it has been that I had not imagined that I would have such a long career.
Yeah.
To be very, very honest.
Yeah.
I never imagined that, this is like my 30 years in rocking it.
Yeah.
I thought actresses were meant to be maximum to maximum. The shelf life is 10 years. But here it's like it seems never ending.
Yeah.
Which is so good and I'm so grateful for it.
Yeah.
And also, I went through this health crisis, like a serious health crisis. Very few people are blessed to come out of it.
Yeah.
And be completely fine.
Yeah.
So this was also a big surprise for me, that there is life beyond cancer treatment and there could be a much better and much beautiful life after cancer treatment. So life is full of surprises, darling.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So how was it the comeback after you recovered? How was that one for you? Was it a gradual pull into getting back to the, cinema, or you had to prepare yourself to get back?
So basically, honestly speaking, there was initially it was just an impossible dream because I was in the hospital bed and I used to dream that if I get a second chance to life, I will get my career back. I'll really do the right thing. I'll really napatula steps lungi or अच्छे director के साथ काम करूँगी and I'll work with right people. I planned it all. And then when I came here, there were so many hurdles that was there. Many hurdles were not outside. Most of the hurdles were inside because I was insecure. I was fearful. I was conscious because, the thing is, my hair was bald and छोटे-छोटे बाल आने शुरू हुए थे. So I was not looking my glamorous best. And so I was very scared and vulnerable about how people will judge me. And will I had doubts whether will I be ever accepted back again, because they've seen me glamorous in my young days and heydays and now I'm looking like this. So many doubts, so many fears, of course, the fear of relapse of cancer was the biggest fear, losing life was the biggest fear ever. And then slowly, I got one film and Darte Darte Kiya Maine.
Which one was your first after getting back?
When I got back, there was a
Kannada film. And I think now when I look back, my acting was loud, my makeup was loud. So, but it was, you're not really prepared. You're so nervous, right? And then slowly, I think I took a break after that when I saw the result wasn't that great. So I said, nee, I'm not yet ready. I should wait for the right script. Then Dear Maya happened to me. that was a beautiful script, and I said, no, I want to give my jaan into this, and this is my. And I so happened that even if the film didn't do well, the film was beautiful film, and I found a friend of a lifetime in Sunaina. She is a writer director, and she's such a gem and very supremely talented director. So that happened, and then I think Sanju happened.
Yeah, Sanju happened, I think.
And that was another beautiful experience. And I got a damn good song, Kar Har Maidan Fateh. That's my go-to song,
You felt yourself.
I need to pep myself. So, yeah. Yeah. So, and got to work with today's generation, one of the fabulous actor, Ranbir Kapoor, and, Rajkumar Hirani sir, and his amazing team of people. So, slowly, I was gaining confidence and doing the right thing with the right director. And then eventually the last was Hira Mandi. And what my prayer has been, that I get to work with good directors in a meaningful role. Because I know by now, no matter how good an actor you are, if you're not presented well, then it goes all puss, So that entire team has to be top class. So my prayer is that I get work with a top-notch director in an excellent role where I can perform and shine.
And there's also a very old clip of Javed Akhtar saying that the song Ek Ladki Ko Dekha Aisa Laga, that song was originally written for Madhuri Dixit, but then you replaced her in that role. So
right.
Is this true? I mean, was it written for her and then you got it?
Oh, I don't know that side.
Yeah.
Who was writing lyrics and for whom they were writing lyrics, I don't know.
Yeah.
I was in touch. Vinod was doing screen test.
Yeah.
That I knew.
Yeah.
And my screen test wasn't that good. This is my second attempt to screen test.
Yeah.
And when I succeeded on my second attempt, I made a promise to him that I will put in my heart and soul in this.
Yeah.
And that's what I did, and during 1942, I learned what good acting is.
Yeah.
During 1942, I learned how much of focus you need to do.
Yeah.
Acting is not only about remembering the line and saying it and one thing, how to bring it from your stomach, how to make it your reality, how to speak through your eyes, and your voice and everything. It's like everything. You are a medium to play that character. So you utilize everything, your voice, your eyes, your body, your everything. So I learned about cinema and acting a lot during 1942. And बहुत सालों के बाद जब जावेद साहब का इंटरव्यू आया ना, I didn't know that. I had seen her Parinda.
Yeah.
And I had loved it.
Yeah.
Is
Lajja the only movie in which you guys have performed together, or are there other movies where you were sharing the same screen?
I think it's only Lajja.
How was it when you guys came together?
I love it. See, the thing is, I put her in a pedestal and she so deserves. And she's so beautiful. She's so down to earth. She's so loving and kind. And she's so, she gives affection to people.
Yeah.
And I like that, At the end of the day, we all are human beings.
Yeah.
Some are bigger stars, some are smaller, some are no stars. But
if
we can connect to people on a human to human level, I appreciate that.
Okay. You've seen a lot of peaks in your career and also seen a lot of difficult times in your personal and professional career.
Right.
So how did you kind of, overcome through these times?
Basically, there is no rules. You just correct the mistake that you've done, and you move on. And thing is, when you look back, I feel those mistakes were also important for your growth. Because that's a route you don't want to take ever in life.
Yeah.
And also you see the reality of the people. People on your face when you're riding high are very kind and very nice and this thing. But the moment you fall down and this thing, they just come and suck your blood off. So you realize, you know, who are your good friends and who are you're not a good friend. So it's an eye opener. So yeah, it's okay.
But, kind of ageism is a factor which really bothers the female actors and not so much, with the male actors. Why is it, why this difference? Why are we seeing that? Why is it difficult for
It's the hell out of
male
me.
actors?
It irritates the hell out of me.
Is it
I
still there? I mean,
Of course it is there, but with time, I guess men and women both have to open their heart and open their mind and tell stories which is of all ages.
yeah.
Life is not only when you're at 20.
Hmm.
So you can't be telling story only when you're in 20.
Hmm.
The same person will go into 30, will go into 40, will go into 50.
Yeah.
Why can't you be creative enough to figure out an interesting story to tell when you're that age?
Yeah.
So I think it's slowly opening up. I have a feeling younger generation are far more open.
Yeah.
And far more welcoming.
Yeah.
To different kind of cinema and with different ages and stuff like that. And earlier a lot basically work in a confined mind frame.
Yeah.
But I think with time and exposure to the world cinema and also being wiser and understanding that so much more can be made, why to shut that?
And also we used to see and hear about the pay disparities.
Yeah.
And a lot of other issues.
Pay
in the past.
disparities, ageism, all these are current issues too.
What are you saying?
Of course. And
I thought at least the pay part is sorted and there are female actors getting paid more.
no, sparingly. But it is also getting better. I'm not saying we are stuck in those olden times.
Yeah.
We are not stuck.
Yeah.
We are evolving. And it is becoming kinder and it is becoming wiser, and people are talking about these things like you just raised it, and so many other people have talking about it. And then there'll be, of course, more education, more awareness. When the jobs are same, you can't make a movie without an actress.
Yeah.
So why an actor should be paid more, an actress, should be paid less, right? But then again, the famous or the popular line is, oh, this film sells because of the actor's popularity. I get a feeling that, if you give the same sort of a space and same kind of importance, today's actresses are no less than any actor, or for that matter, even those days.
Yeah.
Nobody was any less.
Yeah.
But of course, we work within certain structures and not everything is perfect. And that's why we need to correct it and we need to improve it.
And by the way, there's this debate out there that you belong from a royal family. It's a well-known fact that you belong from a political family.
Yeah.
But then do you want to clear the air or any misconception that
I'm not a royal family. Let's put it that across very clearly. And I've been saying this for very long time, but people somehow get that wrong. Well, my grandfather was a pro-democrat person, and there was a freedom struggle, and he was the leader of the nation. And yeah, I mean, of course, the royal family and our family is very close to each other. But I'm nowhere close to royal family.
Yeah,
No. Political family.
Yeah.
Everybody's in politics.
Between so many political leaders.
Yeah.
How was your childhood like?
I think I was so blessed to listen to so many great conversations and literature, classical music, classical dance. My mother and my dadi is a Bharatanatyam dancer. My mom is Bharatanatyam and Kathak dancer. And we've had Birju Maharaj, we've had and classical musician like tabla and sitar and the whole shebang, So the mahal of that, my growing up was very, very rich in terms of music, classical dance, literature. My daddy used to be completely reading. My father, my first book my father gave me to read was To Kill a Mockingbird. It's a serious book for a 15, 16-year-old. There's a time you want to read Mills and Boons and stuff like that. But my first book was To Kill a Mockingbird. And of course, I asked zillion gazillion question and navigated through the book. But I'm just giving you a picture of my environment.
Yeah.
My environment was extremely rich in culture, literature, debate on politics, debate on the values, what is right, what is not right. So I grew up I was very fortunate to be in that environment.
Do you want to tell me a little more about Manisha Koirala Productions, which we were talking about? And
So I produced a film called Paisa Vasool. Those days it was two female leads, me and Sushmita Sen. And it was a quite funny and quite good film, and we were very proud of that. But I had some issues while selling the film and and I realized, okay, this is not my man. I think I have an easier and comfortable life as an actor. So I came back to being an actor and never looked back into producing film. In future, who knows?
Yeah.
But as of now, I'm not really. I told you my priorities for next 1 year, so yeah.
Manisha, you've also worked in other industries apart from Bollywood. You've done South movies, and you just mentioned the Kannada film. So what's the kind of difference you saw in working with them?
I did South films many moons ago.
Yeah.
My first encounter was Mani Ratnam's Bombay. And I have loved working. They are so disciplined.
Yeah.
Those days in Bollywood here, it was like the set moved when the hero time came. Like we would be ready. The hero will come at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, then the shooting will happen.
Yeah.
So somehow that I was not very happy. I don't think anybody else happy. But in South, whether it's a hero, whether it's a heroine, whether the director, everybody's on set. Especially with Mani sir, when he calls you at 4 a.m. in the morning,
Yeah.
everybody's there. And he is the first one to be there.
Yeah.
So it's like, I realize the value of time, the respect and dignity of every human being who are committed to their work. And I just enjoyed working in the South during those days a lot.
Okay.
Because the sense of discipline and not revolving around hero.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's next for Manisha Koirala? Where are we going to see you in like next 4 or 5 years?
I don't plan things like that. Yeah. I don't have any next big plan. All I know is I'm open to life. I'm open to working. And I will see whatever life has in store for me.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Manisha. It was so great to have you. Thanks for speaking to us.
Damn.